And good morning, everybody. Welcome to my living room here in Phuket. I'm Tim Newton.
I'm Nick Gold.
Gold?
Gold? I don't think they've ever known.
Sounds like a porn name.
Jesus, here we go.
Yeah, you see, you did
I muted
mute
it. I did mute it.
You
before
didn't
this
mute
whole
it.
thing
Started.
So anyway, great to have you with us. We've had a whole show on the stream. So do you want to say hello to some of the people?
Yeah. So thank you, Kimo. €5 just came in. Do you keep after class 5-minute silence for Ukraine? Can you at the same time ferment the refrigerator?
Thank you, Kimo, for that question. We'll just have to figure it out. But thank you for your earlier, very kind donation to the program. Yes. And I am going to address one of the questions that you sent during the week. This question, I'm going to have to think about it. What does it mean? Anyway, we'll get to that.
Anyway, also a very good morning to the people from earlier, which is Reread, Scott D. Hi, Scott D. Durian, and Don
Nacho
Papa.
Daddy. We've got somebody called Nacho Daddy. Reg Dunlop, the chairman. Paddle Crab, the Queensland Tiger. Hans C. Schellenberg, who comes along from time to time.
And Robbo in the Bay.
Plenty of people there. Good morning to you. We've got 3 or 4 topics to talk about. We should say, Nick, that it is April Fool's Day.
Yes, it is.
And you would think that we came up with some very cunning idea for April Fools, and you'd be wrong. But I do have at least one story today that would make you think, surely that's an April Fool's joke. But it's not. And we'll get to that later. How are you coping with the heat?
It just gets worse and worse every day, I have to say. And this whole news about the heat wave that's coming in is not really making me optimistic.
It is very hot at the moment, everybody, here in Thailand. There's the temperature that they publish, and then there's the actual sort of real feel, if you like, which is a lot higher. So they're saying that in the next month, temperatures are going to be getting up to 43, 44, 45. Now, to a up in the north, central and northern Thailand. Like, northern Thailand's got it at the moment in spades with horrible air pollution. Chiang Mai's seen some of the worst air pollution for the longest time over the past couple of weeks. It's been horrendous. In fact, we'll probably check that live later. But coming from a place called Melbourne in Australia, I have experienced 46, 47 degree heat. But it doesn't seem as bad as like 35 degree heat here. And that's because when it's hot in Melbourne, there's no humidity.
There's no humidity. It's
like
dry heat.
Zero humidity. Mm-hmm. So it would be like heat in, I don't know, when
Oman,
it's...
or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
East, yeah.
So like hot heat is okay, but it's the humidity that really cooks it up. So the Bangkok Post is saying that heat waves are sparking a health fear, and the Thai Meteorological Department, usually the most inaccurate of the meteorological departments around the world, yesterday urged citizens to beware of the heat, especially vulnerable groups like people like Nick. He seems to be very vulnerable to the heat.
I am.
Very precious and delicate. And because it's expected to remain hot and sunny, you'll like this, Nick, until early May. That's early May this year. The TMD director says the temperatures in Thailand will remain high this summer, with the mercury tipped to climb to 43 degrees in the north and the northeast, while the central plains up to 42. But again, it's the humidity that's going to make it feel really hot. And the top 4 provinces, good morning if you're coming from any of these provinces, are Sukhothai, Tak, Lampang and Mae Hong Son. So they're all in central and northern Thailand.
Yes.
So down here in Phuket, it's like 30 to 32 every single day of the year. It's just more humid or less humid.
Yes.
At the moment, it's both.
It's especially bad if it rains in the morning and then it starts to get hot towards 1, 2 in the afternoon. Then it's really disgustingly humid.
So are there any questions that we need to just have a look for that, and I'll just finish the story.
So before we had questions about great airports, so I mean, while we were on the topic of that, what's your favorite airport?
Okay, so we'll get to airport. I'll just finish this one. And it says, to minimise the risk of heat stroke for the elderly, he urged them to stay indoors in well-ventilated areas. Anyone showing signs of heat stroke should immediately be placed on their back with clothes loosened in a ventilated room. And I've got some tips here. I wrote these years ago for coping with humidity.
Wow.
So maybe you could attend to some of these. By the way, when Nick arrived, he had a shirt over his T-shirt. And I said, of course you're hot. You've got two layers on. This is about as light as you can get. So, drink plenty of water. Well, that sort of goes without saying. Do you drink lots of water? That's what you drink.
I only have this in the morning to get me started.
Yeah, I think some milk makes you feel hot too. So drink more water than you usually do. And that doesn't include, by the way, alcoholic beverages. Unless, of course, you're at the Stoned Crab pub in Rawai, Naihan, where that is, of course, welcomed. You need more salt than usual. So you know the theory behind this, that when you sweat, a lot of the salts come out of your body, so you need to replace the salts.
Sure.
Which with the usual Thai diet isn't a problem. Things like Gatorade, and they've sort of got those salts. So wear loose-fitting clothes made from natural fibres. I think polyester cotton may or may not qualify.
Are you going to stop picking on me this morning?
No, not at all. Exercise first thing in the morning or last thing at night. I'm not saying anything. Wear a hat.
Absolutely not. Oh boy, take that thing off.
There you go. So get one of these. This very good hat for me because it's got a wide brim and it's nice and light. And these are from, what's the place? The Japanese?
Decathlon?
No. It looks like Decathlon, doesn't it?
It looks like a Decathlon hat.
What's that place? The Japanese clothes.
Uniqlo.
Uniqlo, yes. It was about 790 baht. Ridiculous price, but it dries instantly, so that's good. So wear a hat. Take your time, sabai. So in other words, just don't rush. Again, probably not a problem. Unless you're on a motorbike, then you do rush.
The only time I wear the shirt is in the morning because it's cooler in the morning when I drive here.
So you don't wear a shirt in the afternoon?
Jesus Christ.
Well, that's what you said. So avoid air conditioning if you can. How do you go with the no aircon? You can't sleep without aircon?
I enjoy aircon throughout the entirety of the night.
Okay. Yes. How do you do that all through the year or just?
Well, mainly, except when I go back to the States or if it's wintertime, like just back in December, you crack the window open just to let the cold air in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I for only about a month each year, I use the aircon. I've got the room behind me, which has got a nice, it's a small room, it's a small little air conditioning unit, and it's quite cheap to sleep in there with the aircon, but it's because it gets very hot upstairs. So it's only about a month. The rest of the year, I'm happy with a fan.
Jeez. Okay.
Can you sleep in Thailand without air conditioning? What's your situation? So, but it's good to avoid it because it does sort of dry out your throat, and it also lessens your tolerance to the natural heat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Number 8, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. So during midday, Thais aren't sort of running around. They're taking it easy. They're keeping out of the sun. They're maybe having a bit of a sleep, sort of a Thai siesta. So just the other thing that they do, which I find really strange, is they work in denim jeans. I've never understood that.
And the wide-brimmed hat and the balaclava and the sunglasses and the long-sleeve shirt and the gloves.
So, yeah, if they're out working, they do really cover up to the extent where it looks like they're working in a very cool climate. Mm-hmm. But there must be something to it because they keep doing it.
And they always do it.
Yeah. I'd be wearing sort of singlet and shorts and just layering myself in factor 50 SPF sort of sun cream. But anyway, just see watch what the locals are doing to keep cool, because that, except for wearing jeans. Number 9, mop up the sweat. So it's a good idea just to have a sort of some tissues or some sort of
Moist towelette.
Moist towelette, there you go. The word moist sort of says it all, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And then the last one is eat healthy, light food. So don't, when you're down at Stoned Crab on a hot Friday night, go for the lighter meals rather than the hot curries, because nothing like a hot curry to warm you up. So there's some of the ideas I wrote years ago, ways that you could cope with humidity, because I think when people arrive in Thailand, if they're visiting here, it's the one thing that they'll really notice more than anything else. Okay, it's hot, but it's that humidity that hits you when you first arrive. It takes a while to get used to. You were born here?
Yes.
Okay, so, but you prefer the cooler weather?
I prefer the cool, yes.
Okay.
I was born here, but then forged in the winters of New England.
Kurt said he froze the aircon one time, had it too high.
Yeah, that's not too good. I know it just started pissing water after that.
Hans is asking him, if you froze the aircon, it needs more refrigerant or a cleaning. Thank you very much. And Hans says, number 10, drink lots of, he says, chiang. I think he means chang.
Yeah. Bob B asks, Nick, did your military training cover first aid for heat injuries? It covered first aid for almost every injury besides heat, because I don't think they anticipate that. And if someone were to faint because of the heat, or they locked their legs when standing or whatever, they just get put underneath a tree in the shade and given water.
What, hose?
No,
hose them down?
No, they don't hose them down. They just take off their jacket and whatnot, because we have thicker jackets on top and a hat. And then they just get put underneath a tree for the amount of time needed for them to recover. That's about it.
So Antoine is saying wearing long sleeve shirts is actually cooler than short sleeve shirts, as the sun isn't burning on your skin. Francisco, Mutt, get up and go. Good morning, Tim, Nick, hello everyone. How many people do we have online at the moment? Do you have a calculator over there that tells you?
It says 234.
230. Let's get some more people online. Who was it? Kimo. Kimo asked me during the week. He says, "What? Can you remember the question?"
I can bring it up on the other video. He said, in your opinion, what constitutes as your pillars of happiness?
Okay, because last week we were talking about which is the happiest country in the world, and the answer was Finland, which I sort of thought, well, I haven't been to Finland, so I can't really comment other than saying that I understand that it's cold. I don't do cold very well. I also watched a program on my brand new TV over there, and it's big, isn't it?
It is a large TV.
And which will contradict one of the ones I'm about to mention. But a gentleman, he's from Schitt's Creek. He's the older guy.
Oh. Like the actual main character.
Eugene Levy. He's the 75-year-old actor. He's the father in the series.
Okay.
And he's done this series of traveling around the world. And the first place he went to was Finland. So I have seen a bit more of Finland and know a little bit more about it than I did last week. I'll be interested to know what you think makes you happy.
Sure.
Besides, what's that around your neck?
It's a dragon. It's. I thought it was cool.
I'm not saying it's not. Getting very defensive this morning.
You're picking on me a lot.
So, but you're bigger than me. You're taller than me. You can put up with it. Okay, so these are the 5 things I think that will make you happy. People are going to disagree with me. You need to be happy with the weather that you're living in, because you're going to have to do it 24 hours a day. So if you are living in a place where you don't like the weather, I think you're going to struggle ever to be happy. So coming to Thailand has got hot weather. I like hot weather. Good start. My friends in Melbourne say, "Oh, you must get sick of that heat every day." And I go, No, not at all. Relationships, healthier relationships. As sort of slightly evolved apes, we are just born to need a mate, to want to have a mate, to have a relationship. Half the time when we're in the relationship, we think, "Oh, I'd rather be single." But I think a good, healthier relationship is an important part of being happy. Number 3, a healthy attitude towards money. I think I'm looking at this from a 64-year-old's point of view, by the way, because I think when you're younger, there's a lot of influence from Instagram, from your friends, that you sort of want things. I find I'm happier not with things, notwithstanding my brand new 75-inch TV. But generally, I find letting go of trying to get the latest, biggest, fastest, bestest motorbike. Letting go of, which leads me to letting go of. Did you sell it, by the way?
No, I have to get back to him today. But
selling his motorbike.
Selling my motorbike, yeah.
Letting go of material things like this, divesting yourself of expensive motorbikes.
You have a television. You use your television every day. I use my motorbike every day. But yes, at least I can go places. I can see.
I can go around. I can go around the world on that TV. I can go anywhere I want. So okay, but I think generally it's a very Buddhist thing, isn't it?
Yes.
So that letting go of sort of material desire. And also, I think a really important one, especially when you get to my age, is staying out of debt, not owing anybody anything. So, Kimo, that's what I think are the pillars of sort of happiness. Over to you. What makes you happy?
Oh, of course, I have no preparation for this.
Well, you only had half an hour.
What makes me happy? I guess I actually really enjoy the smaller things in life. One thing I find that I reminisce about a lot is when I was younger and I'd play in my yard in Connecticut. I loved the smell of the woods and the forest and just going outside all day, you know, from sunrise till sunset. You know, you could ride your bike all day, you know, and the weather was perfect. It wasn't hot, it wasn't cold. Summer afternoons felt like they would last forever. I really enjoyed those instances where life felt unreal.
Okay, so while you're having a think about making you happy, Durian has just made us very happy and made a donation. So thank you very much, Durian. A drink or two. So we'll be able to get something other than water. Cheers.
Cheers.
So thank you very much, Durian. That's very kind. I appreciate your support of the program. So what else makes you happy? So, well, I agree with you. Those sort of long summer evenings out with your mates.
Exactly. And the people that you spend your time on this earth with make or break the entire situation. So if you aren't hanging out with positive people, how can you expect to have that yourself?
Yes, I'm going to add that. Getting rid of toxic people in your life.
James Geyer, I think, just donated $25. Thank you, James. He says that visiting Thailand is his happiness.
Yeah, and I think, I made a conscious decision, as do other expats, to actually come and live in Thailand. And so, I came here because I like Thailand for a whole lot of reasons. And these things, I suppose, then overlay over the fact that I am in a place that I love. That James, was it?
Yes, James.
James, somebody?
Geyer.
James Geyer. Thank you very, very much. Much appreciated for your support of the program. If you've got a question or a comment, we'll address yours first. Getting rid of toxic people in your life. Okay. That's a good one.
Reg Dunlow, I think like the tire, asks, your opinion on the Kawasaki H2. Fast motorbike, makes a feature in Top Gun Maverick. It only has one swing arm, I believe, that holds the rear wheel tire in place, which is very cool because now you have an exposed rim on the right side. Very neat. I think right side. And definitely too powerful for roads here. I'd recommend buying it in Germany or Europe or the States, Canada. Place with larger roads.
I don't think it's quite as good as the H1. That's my... the H1.2... was, I think, an improvement, but perhaps not as good as I think the original H1 was the best. That's my thought.
H0.5. And JS in Melbourne asks, why am I selling the bike? Because I'm Because I'm going to university later on this year, I will have no need for the motorbike in England. So if I can't drive the motorbike, I have no use in owning it anymore, which is why I'm selling it.
Fair enough. A good comment. You could keep it here when you come back. Or aren't you coming back? The lady involved.
And now I'm running away forever.
The Queensland Tiger says, Pillars of Happiness, how about playing a musical instrument? Look, I think some people are more adept at being musicality. I'm very lucky that I am sort of musical. I've got perfect pitch. And
way.
I do. I have
no,
perfect.
You don't.
I do. You can try me out.
Actually.
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay.
I did learn to play the piano. I play it badly, but I do get a little bit of quiet. Sometimes sit down, knock out a couple of tunes. It seems to be the same tunes that I learned. But yeah, I think learning a musical instrument. Did you learn anything?
Yes, I play guitar.
Guitar?
Yes.
Oh, that's right. Of course you do.
Yeah, I do that.
Electric guitar.
Electric guitar. Why do you say it like that?
On your Husqvarna H2, or what was it?
No, not Husqvarna. I just play that. It's a PRS Mark Holcomb edition. It's very nice, gray, and has a nice purple kind of outline.
Is that a guitar or a motorbike?
It's a guitar.
Okay,
it's a guitar.
Checking.
Yes.
All right.
It's for like metal and heavier songs.
John Freeney says, once you're reaching around 60, for me the most important things are being debt-free and being happy. A smile makes my day. And of course, there are plenty of those in Thailand. The Thais are famous. It's the land of smiles. Mm-hmm. As you live here...
Kimmo just donated €2 to you, Tim, with a heart.
Thank you very much. I'm putting those €2 in my pocket, and that'll probably buy me a very nice lunch indeed.
And the chairman donated 28 Singaporean dollars, I think.
Nearly 29. Thank you very much to the chairman. And look, we're not soliciting donations. We appreciate them. We're certainly not soliciting them, but it does help me pay the way of the channel. And we broached 19,000 subscribers during the week.
We broached?
We did. So we're now heading towards 20,000, which we should hit in April. And we'll have a huge party.
Massive party.
Lemonade for everybody.
All the cats will be there.
All the cats. Lemonade for everybody. And what's my favourite food?
Do you add soda water when you make lemonade? There's a huge debate about this online, about whether you add soda water or not to make it interesting.
Okay, so I basically only drink water and soda water. I don't drink any alcohol. But if I do have a fruit juice or or really any other drink, I will usually dilute it with soda water to give it some fizz and to dilute the sugar, because I just don't cope with sugary drinks very well.
Do you get all spastic?
My middle doesn't cope with sugary drinks. So no, I tried to reduce my sugar. But yeah, what's the controversy over soda water?
No, when you make lemonade at home, some people prefer to add soda water, some people prefer not to make it fizzy, I guess.
Oh, okay. So like real lemonade.
Like real lemonade, yes.
Okay, so, but I think, yeah, to have lemonade, it needs to be a bit fizzy. You need to get those bubbles up your nose.
Yeah.
Schweppefessence, as they used to call it. That was a very good marketing tool, wasn't it? Calling it Schweppefessence. Okay.
Hans says what makes him happy is being good at playing Connect 4.
Connect 4?
Yeah.
That's
4 across. Connect 4 board. It's how large is it? I think it's 8 by 8.
Yeah.
So it's 8 by. Yeah, I think it's 8 by 8. And you put in a yellow and a red colored chip. You and one other person, and you have to connect 4 in a row.
Okay.
Diagonally, vertically, horizontally.
All right. I don't know the game.
The bars here. Oh, but you don't.
I don't go to the bars. Sorry. 36 years here in Satahip and never had aircon, says Ronald Martin. Fan and windows open do the job. Yeah, I think Tim needs to sing on a live show to show off that perfect pitch. I can sing, like as in tune, but it doesn't sound good. It's like, it's not something that other people want to hear. So, yeah, I don't want to inflict my singing on you. I would have to go through some sort of device to make me sound like a K-pop star or something. Make me sound like I'm singing in Korean.
Hans asks, will Borat's mankini be worn in the new Tim Newton pool?
No, no mankinis. I do jump in the pool with very little on from time to time, but I mean, it's in a protected area. People don't have to watch. But that's the other thing, I suppose. If you're living here, if you've got a pool, jumping in the pool at least once or twice a day will help you keep cool. I'm in there at least twice a day. Reread says, I can sleep without air conditioning in Thailand. Isan, but now they've introduced air conditioning to my Thai wife. She cannot live without it. Mm-hmm. I can understand that. So I'm going to go into the next topic. This topic, Nick. People chatting so much today.
Yeah, let's say auto-tune Tim. Hi, I love singing but can't hit a note. Connect 4 is a bar girls game. Yeah.
Yes, this story people would think is an April Fool's joke. So from time to time, there, especially when Patong is the sort of party town in Phuket.
Sure.
And the more people that are there, the more
lively it becomes.
There's more effluent to get rid of. And one way or another, a lot of it ends up in the canals. And those canals end up flowing into the sea in Patong Bay. So they got the head of because there was a drone shot and it showed all this dirty, dark water, black water flowing off the coast of Patong. And so they got the head of the local maritime resources department or something. I've got his name here. And
like wildlife service and fish.
Sure. And he came up with a reason for it. And I have to share this with you. So the story, this is from Phuket-go.com. Whale poop clogging up Phuket klongs and other silly excuses. And Sitipon Mlangsong, the chief of the Phuket Fisheries Office, has blamed the dirty water at Patong Beach as a natural phenomenon. He's attributed the water discoloration at Phuket beaches as either whale excrement or plankton bloom. So whales, number one, I haven't seen a whale like close to any Phuket beaches.
Of course.
They're out there off the coast and up around Simlan Islands. The Bride's whale is quite popular and often seen here, but
not around the beaches.
Not around the beaches, and not getting close enough to the klongs. And as the story notes, he visited the tourist beach on Tuesday, presumably to check if there were any whales backing up and aiming their rear end at any local Patong klongs. Klongs are canals. But local environmental group Monsoon Garbage have sent up their drone and taken photos showing exactly where the dirty water is coming from and where it's ending up. And there's one of their photos there, Nick. That's the main canal that flows through sort of the back of the 3rd Street in Patong.
Yeah, if you go back to the drone shot, actually.
That's the drone shot.
The bridge in the middle, that's on the very left side of Phuket. Patong Beach.
Yeah, it's on the southern end of the beach.
Yes.
Before you start sort of making your way up the hill there. So there's another photo there, and that's showing us what is coming down that klong and then hanging around the beach. Mm-hmm. And all I can say is you probably don't want to be swimming there. So what do you think? Oh, hang on. He says he hopes that this will reduce public concern and help them understand that this is a natural occurrence and does not affect the quality of the beach or tourism in any way. So I thought that was a worthy excuse, and that guy needs to be awarded a medal. What whale poop is blocking up the klongs and causing the dirty water.
Yep. Great cover-up.
So that guy needs a medal, and congratulations to him. And as Quinn
says, sounds a bit fishy.
Sounds a bit fishy. Humphrey Peak, ambergris, it's not. And it's certainly not whale poop. If the whales poop.
Sure.
And look, I have been to an elephant camp, and I've seen what comes out the back of an elephant, and
it looks like hay. It just looks like hay with mud.
It doesn't smell like hay.
Well, that's just because you're a city slicker.
And well, not anymore. And I'm thinking whales are at least as large or larger than elephants. So
I think they're a little bit larger. Okay.
So there's probably similar amounts of something coming out the back, but I don't think that what is coming out of the back of them is making its way to the clongs in Phuket and blocking them up.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I'm very, very sure about it. Then again, they did say that they are going to take some samples, and here they are. Oh, you've been drinking yours.
Yeah, I've been working my way through this one.
So they're going to take some samples and get it tested, and I would just love to see them. Oh, gee, E. coli 138. We'll just nothing wrong with the samples. They're clean. So that story there from Phuket-go.com. So problems with whale poop.
Marcus the hippie says, so European tourists are called whales now.
No. We're talking about the real whales. We're not talking about people. Did you see the movie The Whale? Brendan Fraser won the Academy Award.
Where he's a huge overweight person.
Yes.
I have not seen it, no.
Looks quite touching, probably heavy going. I thought that the guy playing Elvis was going to win the... he was nominated for Best Actor, but he didn't win. But, I mean, he's only a young guy. But if you didn't see the Elvis movie, then it's definitely worth seeing. I'm probably streaming on some service near you. Probably on a 75-inch flat screen TV.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, Tim, who is your visa agent in Penang? Ian McNamee asked the question. Oh, what is his name? They're definitely the people to go to. I'll have to have a look at that, Ian. Can you talk for a moment about some of the comments? And I'm going to have
for a moment.
I'm going to have a quick look.
Chris says ninja whales of Thailand because no one has seen them coming in or out of these clongs. They just mysteriously showed up there. Ben Hayes says old, bald, and grey male whales. Love in Thailand says it's true. I put the whale poop in the clong. Don't tell anyone. And Nong Wusao asks, Tim, when was the last time you drank water from the tap?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, actually, when I was in Australia last October, I have drank water from the tap in Thailand. In this house...
Was it a good decision?
Yes, I'm actually fairly sure that in most... Oh, look, I have to be careful saying this because I don't want you rushing out and drinking the water in the taps, because we're all told when we come to Thailand, don't drink the water out of the taps. But, I mean, I've been washing in it, washing the dishes, cleaning my teeth with it for years. And sometimes if I'm taking, like, medication or something, I'll actually just drink the tap water. I don't think there's anything wrong with the tap water that I'm drinking. I think it is potable, and I don't think there's any problems with it. I'm not saying that everybody should do this, but I think in most places in Thailand now that are more developed, recently built, that the tap water is probably potable. But they don't say that it is, and I'm not saying that it is, but I haven't had any problems with the tap water here. So I have drunk the tap water here. If a minister got up there and said, here, tap, water, drink, then everybody would just start drinking tap water. But there are probably some locations in Thailand where you wouldn't want to do that in a pink fit. What do you think about the tap water? It doesn't smell at all. There's nothing. The colour, it's clear.
Yes, the water looks like water, and it has the same characteristics as water. No, but I personally am not a big fan, or I would not recommend drinking the tap water, because not every home is hooked up to the same system. Depends on whether or not you have a personal well, or you use rainwater, whatnot. But we live right next to a water company, so we just buy our water from them. It's like 10 baht for a jug.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So I don't know, what is that, about 20 litres?
It's huge, whatever it is.
Yeah. So I get those delivered about one a week. And it's very, very cheap. Yes. Water is very cheap here in Thailand. Unlike in Australia, if you want to buy a bottle of water, it's like $3.50, where here it's about 10, 15 baht. True.
Wait, well, what kind of water is it, though? Is it like just the store
just
brand
water?
Water.
Jeez. Interesting question.
You can buy like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can buy like a 5 by 12, like pallet case of them for not very much.
Yeah.
And it's just cheap water, but
Water is very cheap here.
yeah.
But I suspect that most of them get it by going to their tap and filling up the bottles. I might be wrong. Warren Williams asks the question, how would the military's 250 parliamentary seats impact the election outcome, assuming Pattongtarn Shinawatra wins a clear majority? Warren, great question, and there are many people out there that are not so interested in politics, but I'll answer that quickly, and also assuring you that the decisions made by this parliament do impact on you, because they eventually decide on things like visas. They decide on things like the cannabis bill. So in Thailand, you've got the lower house, which has got 500 seats of elected MPs. And then the upper house is 250 senators who have been handpicked by the junta, the previous military...
What did you call me?
Junta. By the military government that came to power by force back in 2014. So my feeling is, Warren, is it Warren?
Warren, yes.
That there is going to be some goodwill shown towards whoever wins the election, because I think most Thais are sick of this sort of election coup cycle. And I think if Pattongtarn Shinawatra, the Per Thai party will definitely get the most number of
Seats?
Primary votes. And they'll probably have to form a coalition, but Move Forward Party, they're sort of similarly politically aligned. I think that if they nominate Pattongtarn Shinawatra, the youngest daughter, currently 7 months pregnant, so she's basically going to have a baby with her, fresh out of hospital, as she says, I'm the new Prime Minister. Anyway, I think that the military government, that the 250 senators will probably show goodwill and vote for her, because I think everybody wants to give it a go. That's my general feeling. What's your feeling?
I was just about to say I'm going to pretend I understood anything of what you just said.
I'm sorry.
I do not follow Thai politics at all.
Okay, there you go. I don't want to confuse anybody, but hopefully that answered the question.
I was just about to say Ian McNamee is asking about your agent. Did you find that?
Regarding the agent, there is a guy called Jim's Place. But Jim, he closed down during COVID, and he's now working with this visa agent, which is sort of over the road and just down the street from Jim's Place. If you type Jim's Place on Facebook, you'll probably find out where Jim is working now. He was a very well-known visa agent in Penang for a million years. He's now working with this other place, and I can't remember their name. Sharma, something like Sharma Travel. Ian, I'll keep on looking and see if I can remember, but maybe it's Sharma Visa Agent or Sharma Travel. Check it out in Penang. I think it's Sharma, Sharma.
And Kimmo, thank you very much, donated another 10 euros, saying, in Finland, only tap water is mainly drunk and used. Mainly drank, mainly consumed, mainly drunk.
Reread says, playing a musical instrument could be absolute bliss for the performer, while at the same time being complete torture for the family member that's forced to listen. Okay.
I quite enjoy playing Tuesday's Gone by Lynyrd Skynyrd on guitar.
Okay.
That one's very fun to play. I do find myself in my zone whenever I play that one.
Number one plays a musical instrument, and I have to get about as far away as I can. It's not a good sound.
Tim Shaw asks, question about money. 1 Australian dollar currently equals 22.80 baht. It'll be used as high as 32 baht to the Aussie dollar.
Yeah.
What reasons can you offer for the strengthening of the Thai baht?
Well, I don't... money is a funny thing, because we sort of see it from the point of view of the currency that we use and the Thai baht. But of course, all these currencies are floating around in a world currency market. So currently, you only get 22.8 or whatever it is baht to an Aussie dollar. It was as high as 30 baht. I remember that well. I think I even remember paying or getting about 33 baht to the Aussie dollar. That's when the Australian dollar was very high compared to the US dollar. Why is the Thai baht strong? I think it's partly because they have such big gold reserves, because they have this sort of bulletproof economy.
Yep.
That
Teflon.
Teflon Thailand, as they call it. It just keeps on coming back from tsunamis. I think the fact now that they've got a growth rate of, I think, 3.6% for this year. Last year, they even had quite high growth of 3%. So a lot of the Asian economies appear to be doing better than some of the Western economies
Absolutely.
at the moment. And that is, it's not just Thailand, it's a lot of the Asian economies. The reasons for that, I think, are much more complicated. But did I answer the question? I tried to.
It was all right.
Tried to,
It was
Tim.
pretty good.
What do you think?
What do I think?
Yes.
Well, I think, let me go around my more creative answer for this. With the way that empires rise and fall throughout history, we're seeing a turning of the century moment, fin de siècle, if you will, moment of where the Western powers are no longer in the same position as they were 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago. So I believe this is that time in the history of the world as we know it, where China, Korea, Japan, Singapore, Thailand even, and the rest of other Asian countries will see a large rise in their economic strength. And I think that...
The Asian century.
Yeah, and I think this will be the Asian century as we move forwards. This is where the money's going.
The second half of the last century, we were slowly seeing the demise of the British Empire, the Great Republic of the United States of America. That their power certainly hasn't increased, but China has risen as an economic power and now as a military power. And its influence, whether we like it or not, is just going to be felt more. And you can resist it as long as you like, but as the economy grows and becomes stronger, it's very hard to just will that away. It's just not going to happen. But I'm sure everybody's got their reasons. But thank you. That was very good reasoning.
Thank you. Jim Miller says, love Leonard Skinner. And Marcus says, happiness is a 20-minute walk each day. Bliss is a 30-minute walk by the ocean.
Tim Shaw responded by saying, I think increased foreign investment, particularly in joint ventures and licensing in the automobile industry in Thailand, is providing a large amount of jobs for local Thais.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, the auto industry is really booming here at the moment. We've had car manufacturing here as a strong thing for, 20, 30 years. But even during COVID, they were pumping out cars and people were buying them. If you drive on the roads here...
There's new Ford Rangers everywhere here. Everywhere. The new ones that have recently come out. And there's always
made
new
here in
cars
Thailand.
on the road.
Yeah.
And you always see red license plates. So money is being sent and funneled back in.
And they do like driving their big pickups and things.
Big pickups, yeah.
So I'm surprised you don't have a big pickup. You're a big pickup type of guy.
We have a red Chevy pickup.
There you go.
There you go.
Built in Thailand?
I would only assume so. It's a Colorado Duramax or whatever.
D-Max.
No, that's an Isuzu. That's a
okay.
D-Max. Yeah, I think it's a Duramax or whatever it says on it. And in America, we have a Ford.
And now there's so many electric cars being built here. There's a lot of investment coming in from Chinese companies like Great Wall Motors, like BYD.
Mm-hmm.
BYD, I think now's
Haval.
the Haval. That's the GY, the Great Wall Motors car. But BYD, I think, now are the largest manufacturers of electric cars in the world. They've just inherited that mantle the past couple of months, I think, just passing Tesla. So, I mean, I think there is so much money now pouring into Thailand, into just that alone. And not only with the manufacturing of cars, but also the manufacturing of batteries and things like that as well. Robbo in the Bay. Oh, my God, Tim didn't even notice this. I don't know. What am I looking at? What have I missed?
Robbo in the Bay?
I don't know what. Somebody said something they shouldn't have said it. Did we miss something? There's so many comments coming up. And by the way,
there are a lot.
we're very grateful for your input. because Saturday mornings are your program. Do I move on to another topic while we're just working our way through that?
I don't see anything out of pocket here in the chat. But now we've just got people talking about how maybe the Australian dollar dropped after China recently discovered Western Australia. I don't even know what that means. Are there mines out there? Is lithium there?
Can I move on to this topic while you're having a quick look there? And we'll
you call pickups utes in Australia?
Yes, we do. Short for utility vehicle.
Oh, boy.
We used to make our own utes. General Motors, which was called Holden in Australia.
Holden. Yeah, it's Holden. Yeah.
And then Ford, they also... I owned a couple of utes in my life.
Really? You never struck me as a ute type of man.
I did have a ute because I used to have boats and I used to have to drag the boats around. No, I had like a trailer.
You have a Dodge Ram 3500?
No, we didn't have Dodge in Australia. Oh. We had Chrysler, but I had a Ford Falcon station wagon. Anyway, we're not talking about cars. So here, Stay in Thailand reporting that a Thai Buddhist monk ascended into the air on a crane and threw 150,000 baht cash to the attendees of his birthday party at a temple in Surin province. He was celebrating his 46th birthday and 24th year in the monkhood.
Were you invited?
I wasn't invited, but I'm sort of wondering how a monk who spent 24 years in the monkhood has been able to accumulate 150,000 baht to throw away.
Allegedly.
Not allegedly.
Not allegedly, it's still there.
Here it is. There's a photo. You got some questions about this photo as well. So there he is up in, sort of looks like a Muay Thai ring that's been decorated. He's been hoisted up there in the crane and throwing out 150,000 baht in cash. You had a question about him.
Yes, I did. So in the picture on the right, he's holding what looks like a cigarette. But I don't think they're allowed to smoke.
It's like a cigar almost,
or a cigar.
Isn't it?
It's brown, yeah. Cigarello.
Yeah, I don't know. But it's his birthday. He's thrown out 150,000 baht in cash.
Does that make him excused from
he
his
can do
duties?
He can do what he wants. So here's a bit of video as well that we found of him throwing out the cash. There he goes. So you would want to make sure you're standing downwind, wouldn't you? You wouldn't want to be thinking, oh, I'm standing directly underneath. Oh, boy, the wind's blowing the cash away.
Yeah.
You would have needed to have read the...
Look at how fast the crane's moving, too.
So anyway, very happy people there up in Surin as he was throwing 150,000 baht in cash out. Kimmo says that Nokia, which is a Finnish company, is building
I swear it was Japanese.
No, Nokia is Finnish.
It's
Finnish? God, now I'm sort of questioning my own sanity.
I would have placed money to say it was Japanese.
Nokia is a Finnish company.
Well, of course, if you search that up, they're going to get what you want.
Headquartered in Espoo and founded in the rapids in Finland is one of Nokia's most important locations.
Well, no, that just means important locations. It doesn't mean where it's from.
All Nokia. Who owns Nokia? Here we go. HMD Global, a Finnish multinational company. So I think I was right. So anyway, Kimmo, they're building a 4G network on the moon. What? Now you're just double checking me, are you?
100%.
How rude!
I would have said it was Japanese. I don't know. I was under the impression that it was just a Japanese phone company.
So Nokia, you need to get a bit closer to your mic. You're getting a bit far away again. So yes, but why are they building a 4G network on the moon? Nokia sort of died a bit as the Apple iPhone and the Samsungs.
I renamed my iPhone to Nick's Nokia 3000, like the brick phone. Yeah, you can name your devices custom things.
Okay.
Yeah, so people think that it's a Nokia, but...
All right. So I think I had a Nokia at one stage, but they fell out of favour as the new smartphones took over. Who was behind the BlackBerry? I think the company was called BlackBerry.
BlackBerry, yeah. That was just BlackBerry. They were really popular at a time.
And, yes.
Are dead now.
Nokia Android phones, who knew? Definitely Finnish.
Insult Investor asks, does 3G still work in Thailand and Cambodia? I know Thailand 3G still works.
Yes, sometimes if I'm in a remote area, sometimes I'll only have 3G. So it does seem to work, but you wouldn't want to be sort of downloading porn or something using the 3G. Would be very slow.
And as far as Cambodia, I do not know about Cambodia's cellular network rates.
Robbo says they'll get complaints from customers on the moon. What, are they on the moon and firing the 4G back at the Earth as a service, or are they waiting for... What on earth would you want 4G on the moon for? Either forward thinking or really stupid thinking from Nokia. But Kimmo, thank you very much for that information. Are Nokia still in business? I think they are, Ian. But I don't want the show to become the Nokia show.
Do we have another story to go through?
You're hurrying me up, are you?
No, I'm just saying, because I don't want to talk about Nokias now.
So there we go. This one from the Bangkok Post today. 63 Chinese religious refugees have been detained. 16 families with many children are being held in Pattaya.
One second. Love in Thailand just said they have it on the moon so that way E.T. can phone home. There we go.
Well done. 16 families with many children being held in Pattaya immigration detention for overseas visas. 63 Chinese nationals have been detained in Pattaya for overstaying their visas, and they're members of a self-exiled Christian congregation seeking UN protection from religious persecution. And local police and immigration officers rounded up 63 members of the Shenzhen Holy Reformed Church on Thursday at the Long Lake Hillside Resort. And they were acting on information that many Chinese nationals have been staying there for a long time. There's 32 adults, 31 children, 16 families in total. They were holding Chinese passports, and some had cards from the UN High Commission for Refugees. The cards had expired. Some children had birth certificates purportedly used by a hospital in Bangkok. So I don't think Thailand's very patient with people who are seeking sort of religious refuge. And I'm not sure if they'll be able to stay here in Thailand. They were apparently staying on the island of Jeju in South Korea, but they were being harassed by Chinese
people in Korea?
I don't know. I just read that as part of the story. So, but I'm not sure if they're going to be allowed to stay here on the basis of seeking religious refuge, even though Thailand has sort of freedom of religion.
Coco asks, how is the yellow and red card system going on in Phuket?
Well, from the early days when they were sort of flinging people out of the country, there was 7 or 8 people, though I haven't heard a lot about it. There was a bit of kerfuffle during the week of a bit of biffo in Patong.
Tomfoolery.
Well, a bit more than tomfoolery.
Lollygagging.
They were, what did you call it?
Lollygagging.
Haven't heard that one before. So they were getting stuck into each other, and apparently they've arrested an Australian. Because you know those Australians, they enjoy a bit of lollygagging.
Bit of lollygagging, tomfoolery.
So, but they were fined 2,000 baht, and they weren't issued a yellow card. So apparently, not wearing a bike helmet is worthy of getting a yellow card, but bashing the crap out of another person, not so.
Huh.
So yeah, I haven't heard much about it. Now, the other question from Ian McNamee, the 45-day visa waiver. I wanted to address this today as the 1st of April. The 45-day, I should have opened the show by saying the 45-day visa waiver is going to continue. Ha ha ha, April Fools. So nothing from the government, nothing whatsoever. So as far as we know, if you arrive and you come from one of those 64 countries that are eligible for a visa waiver in Thailand, that includes the United States, Australia, a lot of European countries, 64 of them, that you'll only get a 30-day visa waiver from now on. And Russia's another country that used to get the 45 days, so back to 30 days. But you can extend it for another 30 days before the end of your first 30 days. You have to go down to Thai immigration office, hand over 1,900 baht. Make sure you've got a passport-sized photo, and they'll give you an extension of another 30 days. So the 45-day visa waiver has finished. Over. Finito.
Kaput.
Zip. Kaput. It has ceased to be. It is a dead 45-day visa exemption. Apple phones are expensive worldwide. Pay for the brand, says Teddy Bear.
Yeah, and, someone had asked why Nang Wasao asked why Apple phones are so dear in Thailand.
Are they?
I think it might be just a status symbol, but I still think Androids are more popular because they are cheaper.
Oh, yes, the Android
That's why
phones
Samsung
are.
is like the number one phone company in the world, or in terms of sales, I believe, because they are slightly cheaper than Apple.
Oh, you better check that
We
one.
better check that one. But I think Samsung takes the cake on that one.
Well, the picture that you're watching is on an Apple phone. So
The news that you're viewing is on a MacBook and iPad.
an iPad. I've got a MacBook. I've been using Macs
And
all
a
the
Mac
time.
Mini.
We've got a Mac
And a
Mini,
Mac Mini.
and we've got the Mac, the 17-inch MacBook. So, but I'm not promoting any one particular brand. It's just I'm happy with the Apple products. But when it comes to phones these days, I mean, they all sort of look and do much the same thing. I don't think it really matters as much as it did in the early days. And everybody's waiting for Apple to come up with the next great thing, but they never really have. They've
It's
just
the same phone.
They've sort of improved their business model now. And
But I must say their camera quality is amazing.
look,
Outstanding.
it makes Nick look like Elvis, according to some people.
Yeah.
That's how good the Apple phone is. I don't see it myself. Anyway, so what we were talking about phones.
Because
Nokia,
3G availability.
3G.
Yeah.
Yes, there is 3G still in Thailand. I'll get a 90-day O visa in Penang. I need to know the process time. Ian, I think if you've got all your documentation ready and you go to that visa agent, Sharma Travel, I think, mention my name. Jim's also working there these days, or he was about a month ago. And they're very, very good. And they will fight for you to get that visa. Now, there are
You
problems.
sound like one of those lawyer advertisements. They will fight for you.
Well,
Get in
look-
a car accident, you may be eligible for.
So, Ian, just be aware that getting Penang when I was there about 3 or 4 months ago, there was problems with a lot of people queuing up for visas, and there were delays, and they were only allowing 50 applicants a day. So it might be worth contacting them on an email first and sort of pre-arranging your trip. But usually you'd arrive there, you'd give them the documents during the evening. They'd take you to the embassy for your particular country the next morning. Oh, well, this would be for Thailand if you're wanting to get a visa in Thailand. And then you'll go through the process and they'll pick it up in the afternoon. That's the usual process. But at the moment, I'd contact them first by email and just ask them what the situation is. It may be that going to Singapore or going to other places just outside Thailand may be a better bet. Flying to KL was another popular one for people seeking visas, but good luck, Ian. I hopefully it works. Sharma Travel, I'm sure that's their name. There's probably a company called Sharma Travel that's got that just
SHARMA.
I'm pretty sure it is. SHARMA. They're very good. Okay, we're sort of getting close to wrapping things up. So let's go through 45 days. A great joke, Tim.
Nangwu Sao says it's now 90 days for a visa. Marcus Hippie in Disguise says Saul Goodman. It was a lawyer reference.
Okay. Smack that car top too, boys. Smack that car top. Does that mean the like button?
Does that mean the bonnet?
If I don't, a car top that's the roof. Okay, so we're just sort of going to wrap things up with your comments that have a Juice subscriber meetup. If so, when?
He's asking, do you ever do subscriber meetups, like a meet and greet?
I haven't yet. Maybe for the 20,000, we'll do a
little.
I know where we could do it.
A kiki?
I was going to suggest the Stoned Crab.
No,
It's probably only going to be about 3 people anyway.
and we could do it at the Stoned Crab Pub in Rawai Naiharn area on Sai Yuan Road.
Okay, just to mention it. So, look, my thing about a meetup is I'd do it, but I'd be afraid that only 2 or 3 people would turn up, and I'd feel stupid. Obviously, it would be better to do it in Bangkok, just because there's more people in Bangkok and more
like
likely.
some rooftop Marriott hotel bar or whatever.
Sure, there's thousands of places we could do it. If we were to do it in Phuket, there would obviously be fewer people there because, I mean, there's fewer people in Phuket than Bangkok. Give me your suggestion on what we should do for 20,000 subscribers.
It's pool party. We get Kato in the pool.
Kato's the new cat. Look, I'll throw in 200 baht to get things started. It's going to be a big night. Big night. What's your cook's specialty? Your new chef?
The new chef. We have beef stew at the moment with gravy.
What about
potatoes.
the Hindu people out there? They're not going to eat the beef stew.
I enjoy the. I was just about to recommend a cheeseburger. How fish and chips. We have fish and chips as well. We have. I'm just saying pub food.
Okay, it is pub food.
It is foreign centric. We do have really good Thai options as well.
Stefan says do it in Bangkok.
In Asok as well. Oh, we could do it in Soy Cowboy.
We could. Yeah, but it's probably going to have to be early evening because I like to get to bed by 9 or 10 at night. So you can carry on and entertain.
9 is a little bit early.
Oh,
jeez.
But I'm up at 5 in the morning. A man needs his beauty sleep. You don't get to look like this through not getting enough sleep, Nick. So, okay, that will rake in the views. What will rake in the views? Nick looks very exotic. Hawaiian, Tonga, US, Asian person, and like Elvis. 65% sure.
I never knew I struck others as a Tongan. Is that how you say it?
Tongan, yeah.
Tongan, yeah.
It's an island in Polynesia.
I know Tonga is the island, but I don't know how do you say it though.
Tongan. Tongan, yes. The king of Tonga, I remember, was a very big gentleman. Very large.
They are very large
people generally.
Yes.
Beef stew, a great Thai dish, says Ian McNamee.
How is the fried rice segment going? Until we get to 20,000 subscribers, you'll never know.
There we go. So it'll include Nick's cooking segment for fried rice. Khao Guy?
Khao Guy, yes. It will be Khao Guy with Prick Nam Pla and lime. We're going to do it the correct way.
Okay.
Not the whitewashed way. It'll be correct, yes.
All right. So we look forward. We could do that. So look, I'll have a think about the 20,000 subs. It's about a month away. Well, unless something amazing happens, which it never does for me. So I would think that you should give me some ideas on what we could do, and I'll do my best to comply.
Rob Gray asks, do you have any advice on getting a Thai/international bike license? I just got my license renewed. And if you go to the DMV here, I don't know where you are, but in your area...
It's the
DMV, Department of Motor Vehicles.
No, it's the Department of Land Transport. It's the DLT.
DMV. And if you go there, you can get in line with your passport or whatever and apply for a license that way and stand in line. The queue is not too long, but you have to go very early or after lunchtime.
Is it a near queue or a far queue? Well, that's a good question.
Near queue.
Nico, thank you very, very much for your very kind donation. Much
Thank you,
appreciated. What did he say?
He says, "G'day, Tim and Nick. Yes, you're correct. The origin of name Nokia is named from the original factory built adjacent to the Nokian Verta River outside Tampere, southern Finland. Nokia 3310. Great phone."
So that's one of the old phones. We had the keyboard. Did you text by doing the...
Oh, yeah, they hit the number 3 times in a row to get the message out? No, I've never...
Some people got very, very fast at it.
Yes.
When people were doing that, I was one of those people that got one of those phones where you used to write the messages and it turned it into text.
I thought you were going to say it was the phone, you turn it over on its side and you push the keyboard out and then you have a little keyboard that comes out the bottom.
No, this had a screen and a stylus and you could write your messages and it turned it into text and it sort of learns to read your handwriting. It's sort of pre-iPhone.
That's pretty neat.
So we used to have racers. They'd be doing the tapping on the keyboard, and I'd be writing. We'd see what was faster, because I can write pretty fast. Thank you very, very much, Nico GM. Thank you very, very much. Very kind of you. Okay, so time to say goodbye, as they used to say on... Why is my screen doing that? I've got something funny going on here, but I think we have... Marcus the Hippie in disguise says international bike license. You need a bike license in your country and just go to a RRA in Australia for an international license and bring your license as well for a year. You need an international driver's permit and you need a motorbike license in your home country if you're a foreigner coming to Thailand. Once you're here, you can actually go and get a motorbike license.
Wow.
That would require you to sit in a room for a day and do all the theory and stuff. It's boring as batshit. And watching these videos all in Thai. And then you do a quick driving test. But yes, you can get a motorbike license here. If you're only coming here for 10 days, it's not worth doing. But you can get a motorbike license here if you live here and you've got a registration certificate for a house. Mm-hmm. And a visa, which allows you to stay long term.
What's the RRA in Australia?
Road. Well, each state in Australia, in Victoria, it's called Vic Roads.
Oh, yes.
In New South Wales, I think it's called the NRMA. In other states, National Road Motorist Association. I don't know what NRMA. RRA or whatever it was might be in Queensland or New South Wales, or South Australia or somewhere else. Okay, bye. Enjoy your weekend, says Dharm. It's time for us to say goodbye as well. Hit the like button, says Alpha. Please, if you get a moment and you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. We're not going to send you emails, but boy, does it help us slowly build the channel. So if you want us to get to 20,000 subscribers, the best thing you can do is subscribe, because then Mr. YouTube goes, oh, people are subscribing to the channel. We'll let other people know about it. Or something like that anyway.
Yes.
Hard work getting subscribers in YouTube these days, let me tell you. Nick, great to catch up with you.
Yeah, good to see you as well. Thank you for having me on.
You survived the heat?
Yes, I did this episode survive.
And thank you for watching too. We are going for 20,000 subscribers. I'm after your ideas. You can always send us an email at timnewtontoday@gmail.com.
And suggest video ideas, maybe skydiving out of a plane onto a rooftop hotel where we'll do the 20,000 subscriber party, firework cannon, something like that. We'll do a massive slingshot and shoot Tim into the water. It'll be great.
So all these ideas you've got seem to be putting me in some sort of peril. I'm a bit concerned.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
By your general attitude there. Let's go. And so grumpy old men tomorrow. I haven't edited it yet. I had to edit a whole section of it because...
Oh boy.
It got a bit out of control.
Kimmo is just donated another 10 euros. Thank you very much, Kimmo.
Stop it, Kimmo. So Kimmo's in Finland. Kimmo loves Finland. We've been speaking about Finland for half the episode.
We've been talking about Nokia for the other half of the episode.
Did you see Eugene Levy in Finland? I'd be interested in your response. I can't even remember. Is it on Disney or Netflix?
Who's Eugene?
Eugene Levy is from Schitt's Creek.
Oh. Okay.
He's the father.
Yeah.
And he's doing this travel show. So I watched the first episode. He's sort of a reluctant traveller. He sort of does, he seems to just go, oh, do I have to do that? Oh, do I have to do... A bit like me.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody. Been great having you with us. Hopefully you're a little bit more up to date with things happening around Thailand. Subscribe to the channel during the week.
Like button.
Yes. And give us some ideas. timnewtontoday@gmail.com. What we should do for the 20,000 subscriber
celebration.
And I also would urge you not to consider proposing ideas that would cause me distress or harm. All right?
we'll get him on a Kawasaki H2, and he can do a full review.
I told you I prefer the H1. We'll see you next week, everybody. Thank you, Nick.
Thank you. All right, see you guys later.
Bye-bye.